Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you how I'm going to convert this concertina book that I bought in Canterbury. It's a concertina little plain journal I'm going to convert it into a journal, and I'm going to use lots of different techniques to create some lovely cards to go inside. So why don't you watch the video, follow along and join in the series as I make more cards as we go along daily. So without further ado, let's get started. Recently visited Canterbury, the spiritual home of the Church of England, and went in the amazing cathedral, but I also went in an amazing craft shop. So there I bought these handmade papers, cardie papers from India. And I also bought these cardie paper hearts. Why I've never thought to tear my own and make my own little papers and hearts, I don't know. But anyway, there you go. And I bought this little journal, which is a zigzaggy one. It's so lovely. It came in this little box as well. So I want to make some journaling cards for my Isabelle journals. So I thought I would make some of these for in here, but at the same time use some of them for my Isabelle journal. So I'm going to use things from Isabelle 1 and 2 in here. So this in itself will become a little Isabelle journal, but one that's like this, probably be about this thick when it's done. And the first thing I've done is I have mixed up some coffee, and I've put a little bit of tea in as well. So I'm going to coffee dye some of these papers. I'm going to put my papers on because I want to have a practice at doing all sorts of different designs and things. Let's put 6 on. And then I'm literally just going to spray. So what I did, I got some warm water, instant coffee, thought it wasn't dark enough, then noticed I had some cold tea, so I put that in as well. So let's see what happens. Oh, that's nice. Can you see them just gently changing shade? So I'm going to turn them over. I'm going to do them on the other side too. And then I'm going to let them dry. And we have got the most amazing weather here in the UK. It's like 30 degrees each day and probably 26 at night. Fantastic. But in a country that's not prepared for it, most places don't have aircon. You have to either go to cinemas or sit in your car. Let's just press some of these together and just soak up that coffee. You can of course put stencils on these before you spray, but I thought the fact that I'm going to be mainly covering them, that I'm not making the papers fancy. I just want to that age look on them. So I'm just going to let them dry off. But while we're at it, I am going to spray the book, and I'll just show you how I'm going to do that. I'm literally just going to spray it in exactly the same way. So I'll just finish spraying this book, put my papers out to dry, and be back with you in 3 shakes of a lamb's, is it tail or whiskers? So here we are, dried. I love how the pages have dried differently. Sprayed the same, but dried differently. So I'm really pleased with those. And I tore some of the handmade paper with flowers in. It's already got flowers in. So I'm going to use that as well. I coffee stain that, and I'm going to use that. Now, I didn't give you the measurements, did I, of this? So let's do a quick measure. They are 90 centimetres no, 9 centimetres, 90 millimetres by 13 centimetres. So that obviously is the size of the pages within my book. So I thought, let's start with a quick collage. So I've got my glue. Got my glue, got my brush. There's just a little brush there, you see that? And my glue is just the same as, it's white PVA, which is like Elmer's glue, and I just have it in this pot here. Just needs a little stir and I'm ready to go. So I'm just using what's on my desk because there's that many bits and pieces. I thought let's just go for it. Let's just go for what's here. Apart from the first piece that I'm going to put on, actually, I've got this lovely piece of paper from the Isabelle. These are my scraps that my paper's perhaps torn or got caught in the, you know, when they get caught in the printer, etc. So I save all those pieces. So let's put one of these on here. And I'm just there's gonna be no cutting unless of course you want to cut. And I'm just gonna tear it. I'm not even folding it, I'm just tearing it. And that is gonna fit on there. Well, it will do when I finish tearing it. I'm gonna neaten this side. What I thought by doing all these little ones is it'll give me more confidence with my collage, etc. and my mixed media art, because I don't have a lot of confidence doing that and doing that in public like this. So I'm just going to edge this, and I'm using the Adirondack Espresso. It's just to give it an edge there. Now my paper, you can either, this one looks quite nice with the coffee round it, or I might go around that as well. I was thinking of going round some in gold as well, so what shall I do? I'll go around this one in this espresso. There's that piece. So although I've been sort of crafting for about 9 years now, I sort of dabble in all sorts of bits and pieces. So I need to become, I'm a jack of all trades. I need to become a little bit more of a master in some of them. I mean, my journals always sell very, very quickly when I put them into my Etsy shop. So that always amazes me because, I don't know, perhaps I'm very modest. Right, there we go. That's the nice edging. I'm using one of them little finger sponges. So we're just going to paint some of our glue on here. I could have done with something underneath that to catch the glue, actually. As ever, I had a little piece of parchment paper just by me. I'm literally just on my table. What is on my table is what I'm going to use. The only thing that wasn't on the table was this paintbrush, because I had to go and get that. Let's move that. So let's put this on. There we go. That is so pretty. I love how it says pencil there. So, what are we going to put on next? So I've got some dictionary paper. I've got some music paper there. That's out of antique book. So let's just on some more here. So let's have a look what we think. Do we want the bigger or do we want the smaller? I think we'll put the smaller on. So I'm just going to tear it, because I don't want all this white part on. So I'm going to tear out a nice piece, which I'm going to put there. So there's my little edger. Here it is. So what have you been up to in this hot weather? If you're in the UK, how are you coping with it? Just not what we're used to, is it? Oh, you have a heat wave and nobody can survive it. My little new granddaughter has been, oh, she's not been happy. We've had all the fans going and everything, you know, to try and keep the house cool. Lent my daughter fans to try and keep her house cool. And so the story goes. Let's put some PVA on the back of here. Yeah, it's not easy, is it? The country's been going mad buying air conditioning, I believe. There we go. That's nice onto there. You could use, you don't need to use PVA. You could use Mod Podge, couldn't you, if you wanted to go over that with Mod Podge? Do want some writing on? Let's have a look, because I'd like some French. Hey, and here we go. This is on my desk as well. So, we will keep this number, because this is antique paper. We'll keep the number there, and then we'll just put some of this antique paper. We're just going to tear around the words. So when you do your cutting out for your journals and things, always save all your scraps and bits and pieces, and we'll sort of put that on overlapping, I think. So let's get this. It's good to get these layers on. I really do like layering up. I'm somebody who loves to add lots of ephemera. You know, if I make something, there's always lots and lots of ephemera. There we go. It doesn't matter if it overlaps the piece underneath at all. So that looks really pretty. Straighten that up a little bit. It was just a little bit creased. So what I'm going to do now, actually, I am going to get up, because I'm going to get some gesso. I want to put some gesso on there too. Now, gesso you can write on. Mod Podge is difficult to write on, but gesso you can write on. So I will be back in a tick. So in this series of creating these little cards, I'm going to be doing different mixed media techniques and use wax, for example, water paints, gilding, embossing, using lace, all sorts of things. Right, I've got a little bit of Mod Podge on there. This is, not Mod Podge, gesso primer, and it's white. And I got this huge tub from Hobbycraft, and it actually didn't cost me very much. So now I'm just thinly, can you see that? So that we get the effect of the Mod Podge coming onto the papers. So I don't need it. So I'll do some like stenciling with Mod Podge and things as well. Not Mod Podge, stenciling with gesso as well. So I just want a little bit on there. I want that white. That looks good up there. Take some down there. Oops, where's that come from? Right, there we go. That's nice. Let's put the lid back on there. I'll keep that close by, then in case I need it again, as I'm trying to work just around me. Let's get a little piece of baby wipe. I've got a new pack of baby wipes somewhere. Right, I'm just going to wipe that bit off there to keep that clean. Yeah, we can use stencils, can't we? We can use paints, we can use acrylics, we can use glitters, punches, mica, all sorts, all sorts. It's a good time to use up all your bits and pieces and your scraps, etc. Oh, I wanted to put that number on, didn't I? 1420. So let's just pop that on. 1420. I know it was a page number, but it could be a year number, couldn't it? I think I might put some pressed flowers onto this. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now, I will leave you the link below from where I got the graphics. These Isabelle graphics, which is this, the one underneath here, are from the paper Cameo. Let's put that on there. Oh no, not there. A bit crooked. Ooh. I'm going to put it over here and I'll tell you why. So that can go there. So those are paper Cameo. And I downloaded, I bought these pictures of Victorian ladies. Can you see them? These are just 3 that I've printed off. Aren't they absolutely beautiful? 4, sorry. 4. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to use these in my Isabelle journal. I've got a story together of Isabelle. So I've got all my pages for my journal. I'm going to stitch them in, and then I'm going to tell my story of Isabelle throughout my journal. Anyhow, back to these. So I printed them off, and then I sprayed them with this. It's called Crystal Clear. And my husband gets me this in the local hardware shop. It's by Rust-Oleum. I took it outside, I'd give it a good shaking and sprayed. And you know, there's such a lovely, lovely finish on them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one of these ladies on here. So I think I'm going to put this. I'm very drawn to this lady. Which one should I think we'll do this one. So I'm just going to cut her out. But then, of course, she's going to be too big. It's going to be too big. What I want to do out of these, I want to make some small cabinet cards. That's what I bought them for. So I thought if I just put like acrylic medium over them, a shiny medium. Sometimes the ink runs when it's an inkjet printer. So what I thought is if I spray them with the Crystal Clear first, then I should be able to paint over them to get that more glossy look of a cabinet card. Now I want to put that on there, but I want to make it smaller. Now, do I tear it or do I just cut it? And do you know what? I think I'll just cut it. I'm just going to cut it. Oh, terrible me for cutting in lines. I'm 62 and my mum's been trying to teach me recently. But she said she washed her hands with me when I was about 12. When I started sewing at school and I couldn't cut my patterns out and things. Let's try it smaller look. So now we've got that music, we've got the French, we've got the gesso, we've got the number there. So what I'm now going to do to this is I need to make it look older. So I'm going to commit sacrilege now with my espresso. So let's see what happens. so it goes a bit darker, which is great. That's really good. But I also want to sort of curl some of these edges. I think I've got my little thing for making my edges rougher. It's here. I knew I had it. I knew it was on the table. I didn't buy this. I didn't steal it. I got it. I did buy it from a charity shop. What I meant is I didn't buy it new. It's something I would not have gone to look for because I always do it with scissors. But I saw it and I thought, oh, I'm going to have one of them. There we go. Round the paper. Round the picture. Now it has brought that white on, so what all we do now is we get our thingamajig and we'll go around again on these edges. I mean, a bit of the white showing doesn't matter because it does show, doesn't it, sometimes on your old photographs. Your photograph paper shows through. Right, and I am also going to fold this there as though it's been folded, and I'm just going to put some ink on there. I'm going to roll that corner and put some on there. I did fold that corner too, so let's put some on there. So in your mind you just need to think, you know, what do these pictures look like? Oh, I think you're looking good there. I'm going to put another little bit of a crease there. Lovely. So then, back to my piece of artwork, my collage, and let's just put some glue on here. This glue works wonders and it's fine to use, just this plain, when you're using paper, just this plain PVA. I used to always use Fabri-Tac, but you know, Fabri-Tac is getting so expensive. Well, it is in the UK. I don't know whether it's just imported or what happens, but it's very, very expensive. Let's position her, put her on. Go. Now these little corners, if you want to, just sort of pop a little bit of glue underneath and just catch that down. So my little Nova, my little granddaughter, is going to be christened as Catholic, which is lovely. Her daddy's Catholic and that's what's happening. However, we were brought up in the Methodist faith, and today my daughter, because my husband's away, so she said, I'll bring Nova to your church. So she came to the Methodist church, Nova, and it was so lovely to have my little granddaughter. She's only 12 weeks old now, and she got a blessing of the minister, which I thought was so lovely, so lovely. Right, let's put some of these. So just get these off Amazon. I think we will use this one because we'll just use it up. And we've got some leaves here. Yeah, so she came to church and our pastor at church didn't baptise her, he blessed her, and that was just so lovely. My daughter had a long journey to bring Nova into this world, and I don't just mean delivery, I mean a long journey throughout, from conception right the way through. Let's use these. Conception right the way through. So to have Nova here for us as a family is quite a little miracle. Did those look nice, wouldn't they, with it? Yes. Or do we put put something flatter. Yes, so to have Nova, she's just to us, she is a miracle. I did like that other one, but it's going to sort of stand up. Yes, and I can hear Carol shouting at me, tweezers. That's nice, isn't it? Like a little flower arrangement. So, yes, so she was blessed. I mean, she goes to church with her daddy and mummy every week, and she gets a blessing off Father Kevin. So it was just nice to sneak in a Methodist blessing there as well. So I don't know what James will say. And it was a mum who said, you know, Pastor Glenn, do you mind doing a blessing on my daughter? Because that church absolutely prayed and prayed and prayed for Jessica and Nova throughout their journey. Because it was a very, very difficult time. So she had a blessing there, and it was so emotional. Yeah. And the house, I mean, she's only 12 weeks old. The lounge looks like a bomb site. 'Cause my daughter stayed with us just for one night. You'd think she'd been here a month. Just for one night while her husband was away. And so that's dropped down there, so that'll have to go there. So she stayed with Nova just for one night, and my lounge looks like nothing on earth, but I love it. But I think, gosh, she's only 12 weeks old. What's this going to look like as she gets bigger and more toys? It's so lovely though, isn't it, having your grandchild over to stay. There we go. I'm already thinking what I'm going to do on the next one. Let's just lift that. Pop some glue underneath. There we go. Yeah, they're alright pressed flowers, but it's getting all the layers of petals to just fix down. Isn't easy. There we go. So, do I want to add anything more to that? Do I want to stitch around it? Or do I leave it as it is? Some people put so much on, don't they? I don't know what to do. So I just reached over for my Journal Bling, which I keep in this envelope. This is, again, from the paper Cameo. So what I'm wondering is do I want to put any of this on here? That's quite big. See, that would cover a face. Ooh, I've still got quite a bit to cut out. That would look quite nice on there, wouldn't it? Oh, so it would. So I'm going to get this again, and I'm going to go round. So even though it's got as though it is inked, I am just inking it again. So this is called Journal Bling, and this is from the paper Cameo as well. Now, as you can see here, it's got a little hole punch. So what I'm going to do is, I've got these Tim Holtz tiny things. I'm going to put one of these little tiny, whatever they're called. I can't think what they're called. I'm going to put that through. So I just have to get my tiny hole punch. I'm cheating, aren't I? I'm supposed to be just using what's on my desk. So I am. It's just equipment I need to get as I go along. So I'm going to punch that there. She says, let's do it properly. going to get my little tiny clip. Let's hope it doesn't go through the hole. No, it's not. And we'll just open it up on the back. And I love how, because on here there are bits of ink and what have you, they come onto the back like that. You get that all look as well. However, I'm going to, that's great that, because you can actually just tuck something under that. I'm actually going to use this as a journaling card. So do I just leave it like that to write on the back? Yes, I will, but I do need to put something over that. So let's just put some glue on. You can use masking tape, it's what I would normally use, but I'm not getting up again. I'm supposed to be using what's on the table, so I am doing. I'm going to use some of this vintage, what's antique paper, and I'm going to stick that over there. Take that off, stick that on there, and that should just hold that in place over that. So there's the first one completed. I quite like that. I like the fact I can tuck something in there. I don't know what yet, but I will do when I put it in the journal. So I hope you like that one. Right, shall we do another? Have we got time to do another? I think we have. This one just absolutely stunning though it's printed. I don't know what paper this is. It feels like a handmade paper. It's very, very fine. I'm not sure. I think I got it from Tamer's. I don't know what you would order. Again, this one got jammed in the printer, but it's given this quite nice effect down here. So I'm going to use this one, which is actually this way up. I'm going to use this on my next little card. I'm going to tear around. This one I feel I don't really want to do much to at all because it was just so pretty itself. There we go. Let's get the, just pinched a carrot stick. Delicious. My husband's just getting some, we're having a quick and easy tea tonight because we've had a really, came home from down south on Friday. We don't seem to have absolutely just not stopped. One thing and another. Went to an event last night to support our local hospice. That was seeing the comedian Peter Kay. He's from Bolton and he was doing a show just for the people of Bolton, which was wonderful, really good. He did have like a lot of the memorabilia of Bolton and took you down memory lane, which I loved. That is going to look fab on there. There we go. The reason I'm not doing that is because I'm going, not edging in gold, is because I'm going to put some gold on here. Right. So let's just, might as well put that on there and put my glue on because it's the same size. Yes, so we did Friday, we came home and I went and stayed at Jessica's for the night because James was away. And then last night Jessica came to stay here with Nova because James was still away. But me and my hubby and my other daughter and son went to see the comedian Peter Kay. So we were out till late last night and then they came home and the football was on, England versus Norway, and of course we won. So even though I was in bed, we still all had to hear about it. That looks lovely, doesn't it? I love this effect at the bottom where it's sort of toning. It's like toning fibres, can you see? I love that. Right, I'm going to get some stencils and some paste, and we can do a stenciling on here with paste. I couldn't make up my mind then which stencils to cut out, so I've gone for this one that's got some writing on and flowers and musical notes. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put some of the writing and some of the musical notes on there. Make sure I've got it the right way around. I don't want me writing back to front. I can't remember where I got this one from. I've had it ages. So put that on there. We've got our modelling paste. This I got from Hobbycraft. There it is. A little tool again. It's just like a little tiny trowel. I've had this years as well. This is from Hobbycraft. And I'm going to get some of the paste. Now I'm not going to get loads. And I'm going to hold this on, because if you don't and it moves, then it all messes up. And you need to work quite quickly, going over where you want your modelling paste to go. When I first started doing this, I could never get it right. I used to end up with big clumps of modelling paste here, there and everywhere. And the secret is just do it. Just go over it, do it, and then stop. Well, that's my secret anyway. Right, so that will need washing, because that will set as hard as modelling paste, as hard as lead. And then you literally need to just peel that off. That needs washing now. And there you can see the writing on there and the musical notes. So I need to let that dry now, and then I'm going to do some gilding on there. I'm just zooming in for this little bit. It's dry now, so let's move on with gilding it. So I've got some dual effect paste, Tiger's Eye Stones. It's really, really lovely, this. So I'm just going to take off the lid. Now, because it's so hot, this has melted a little bit. I'll just give it a little stir. Just give it a little stir up. And you see those beautiful jewel tones within it. It's absolutely gorgeous. There we go. Yeah, it's melted in the heat. Probably froze in the winter. Now it's melting in the heat of our very unusual summer. Right, there we go. That's stirred up. So what I'm going to do is put some of this off there. Don't waste it. Just put it on the table. We don't need a lot. I'm going to put the lid back on this paste. And then I'm going to get a little tiny bit on my finger. I mean, actually, less is more when you're doing this. And I'm just going to rub over the top. And you'll see that the paste, let's see, you have to give it a good rub. The paste is starting to take up the gilding paste. So I just put a little bit at a time on, give it a rub. And literally just keep working it and working it into the little project. Just more there. So I have a brush. This is not just an old makeup brush. It's one that I got You know when you buy makeup and they give you brushes? Bring some more out. Put a bit much on. Don't matter, it's still pretty, isn't it? Do people who live in hot countries, do you ever have problems with your products? Just having a look there. Can you see where it's on the... You see the twinkle on it too, just where it's on the lettering. I'm just going to put some more on down here. It's not taken quite as well down here. And that's why it's better to have less, an increase, than to put lots on and then can't take it off once it's on. There we go. I'm just going to leave it at that. Looks pretty, doesn't it? I do like rub and buff as well, but I just haven't got any rub and buff. Well, I have, but it's silver at the minute, so I didn't want to put silver on it. There we go. Looks beautiful, that like copper colour, doesn't it? Right, so what I'm going to do now is I've just stitched a beautiful piece of vintage, I think it's satin, vintage satin wedding dress. Dries so quickly that even on your fingers. Let's turn this over because we certainly don't want this on our vintage satin dress. So here we go. You see that letter in there? Looks really lovely. Right, so I've got some vintage satin wedding dress which I've stitched here. I pleated it and I want to fasten it underneath here because I'm going to put this in my mini journal. This one is definitely going in. So I need to put some glue on. This time I am using Fabri-Tac because I am gluing fabric. You know when you come into the end of your bottle, I need to put some acetone in it to thin it down again because it's really thick. There we go. So we'll put that on there. Just going to pop it upside down in case I need it again. So we'll lay our vintage wedding dress there and we'll just place that exactly where we want it. Cut that off. So can you see everything is about building layer upon layer upon layer? And I do like, I've put these to one side. I do like this little girl. I thought she could go on there. I like this that says journal. So it's rather big though, isn't it? Unless I cut it down. Let's cut it down. I could actually just put it sideways on, couldn't I, there like that? Yes, put her there. Yep. So let's just do this with the inks. Let's get the inks out. Just darkening the whole of that up a bit. Let's go around the edge of my little girl. I put her there, then you can still see, just about see some of that lovely rose. And then we'll put something behind this. You know, shall we put some lace? Let's have a look what we've got. So we could put a piece of lace, put that on there, yeah. So if we just tear a piece, and I want to make it narrower, otherwise does it come too far over? Oh no, I think it looks all right, doesn't it? Yep, so let's pop this on. So this, the figure you'll recognise as a Tim Holtz figure, one of his little people. I'm going to put that there. And then we need to just pop this on here. I don't know whether to put something behind it. You know, some music score or something, music. Do you know, I think I will. I think I will. I'll just do a very thin. Let's just tear around that. Fabricate, you've just got about a minute to work with it before it sets fully. There we go. And we'll just brown around the edge. So we'll pop that on there. And because it's fabric, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac again because I'm gluing onto fabric. I think we'll just put the little girl then we've got. You still see this here? So we'll just pop her there. We just use some Fabri-Tac again because I feel some of these little card pieces do need something a bit stronger than just ordinary PVA. In fact, I've just thought of something before I put her on. What I meant to do, because here I've got my it's some white acrylic. Oh, I can't get this off my finger. White acrylic, and it comes with this little whoop like dropper. So I'm just going to put some onto there like that. This is why having parchment paper comes in really useful. Just going to get my toothbrush. It's not my literal toothbrush, by the way. It's the one I use in here. I'm going to put a bit of water with that. So I've made that a bit more watery, and I just want to flick a bit of white on. And see the effect that's achieving. Then my little girl, who's just needs a little bit more sticky, she can just go onto there. Just have her there. And then I want to use one of these and one of these. So I'm going to put two on. These are from the paper Cameo, the Journal Bling. But what I'm going to do to these is I'm going to use some diamond glaze I love diamond glaze. So let's just pop some diamond glaze, oops, on the table. Just pop a bit of diamond glaze onto here. Now I do have the other glossy accents, but I do prefer diamond glaze. It dries quicker and you can dry it yourself if you want to. And I'm going to paint these over with diamond glaze to make them shiny. Because this one's going in the concertina journal, I want us to be able to tuck something in there. Right, so I'm just going to let those dry. And I will be back very, very, very shortly. So while those are drying, I wanted to show you that this is done. It's only lightly coffee stained, but that suits me. Because like I say, I can make it dark, pages darker if I want to. So I'm just going to get my espresso ink that I've been using, and I am going to, whoops, rub the edges so that when the book's shut, it looks dark. So this one, like this one, as I said, is going to go in here. So it'll fix to a page, for example, that one. And it will look like that. And that'll be my little journal starting out its little life. I'm really, really pleased with that. I've just got to put these bits on when they're dry, but it's going to look great. So these are dry now. Let's put some, just using my espresso. Because I've made it shiny, I can take some of that off. What I did, I don't know if you can see, but I use the dryer to dry it, which you can do as long as you keep a good distance. But if you take it up close, it does bubble. So I thought that bubble would add some extra texture and extra age into it. So yes. Right. So let's take this. Let's take this and this. We'll line them all up together. Again, we'll get our little one of these. I just can't think what they're called. Little paper fastener. And our punch. So line them all up exactly where I want them. There we go. Get my punch. Get it in place and so I've got these two. Oh, let's zoom out a little bit. These two little luggage tags, which I thought I could pop one under there and then another maybe under there. No, that one's too big. That one can definitely go under there. So we'll just age that one up a bit. I got these off Amazon ages ago because I got a huge bag and they're all different sizes and they just seem to last forever. So that one can go under there. Could do with popping something on there. Let's just pop something on. Should we just put some musical notes on? Yeah, that looks nice. Pop some musical notes. Here we go. Little brush. Little brush. little bit of glue on there. Am I on screen? Yes, I am. I just had the thought then that I wasn't going to be on screen. Let's just pop those musical notes onto there. And then, where's that French paper? Here it is. Let's see if we can get another set of numbers off that French paper. 143E, it looks like. So if we take that and we could glue that onto there. I'm not aging this because it's tiny and it's pretty aged itself. I mean, it's over 100 years old. Pop that onto there. We can place that one under there to go in the journal, and then we could do just with a little something for under there. Let's see if we can find anything in this Tim Holtz. I'm sure there will be. That looks quite nice, that ticket. It's got some white specks on it itself, so it matches. Yep, I think we'll put that white ticket there. That looks lovely, that looks really good. I'm pleased with that. So I'm just going to, you've got it. Oh, that comes out of there. That's good. So I'm just going to edge this up around the edge so we've not got the white edges showing. I could put some ribbon in there, I suppose, but I'm not. I'm just going to pop it back in there like that, and you can see through that. There we go. So there is a mixed media tag, and we've used the technique with some gilding down there and using the paste. We've done a little bit of collage and we've popped these tags in as well. So now I'm just going to pick somewhere. I've just opened the book and I am literally going to pop that into there. I'm not going to fasten it in because before I glue anything in, I want to cover these pages, but that will be in there. I know it sticks out a bit bigger than the book, but we're not bothered about that because it's going to look fab. So for example, if this one was going in and it went in there, once they all start building up, that would be stuck onto there. They're going to look really, really good. Do you agree? I'm sure you do. Thank you so much for watching. So I'm Sharon and you've been watching me at Be Divine Vintage. I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It really helped me out. And the more subscribers I get, the more people that are watching what I do and the more encouragement I get to do what I do. Please like as well and comments below. Thank you so much for watching.